Although there are already more than 7,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus here in the U.S., more than 100 of those people have already recovered. ABC News has heard from some of the Americans who were tested and talked about their experiences, what they've been like so far, including from one of our own.
He just came back to tell me I'm going to be tested. But those results are going to take 5 to 7 days. They'll take the test here, but then it has to go to a private lab to be processed. I think I've got a lot of quarantine time ahead.
I FaceTimed my doctor and told him about my symptoms. They asked me if I had been to any of the countries that were high risk, China and Korea, and I said no. They asked me if I had been in contact with anyone who was a confirmed case for coronavirus, and I also said no. It feels very much to me like I have a mild flu. And I know that is going to, your symptoms are going to differ from person to person. The severity is going to differ from person to person.
And I started getting short of breath, and then I had, like a little, felt like just kind of hot right here in my windpipe area. And on March 8th, I asked my husband to take me to the emergency room because I felt horrible. Then they did the COVID-19 test on March 8th. I didn't get that back until March 11th. It was positive. I have no idea where I picked this up. It's a little scary. I had no international travel, nothing like that. I'm definitely getting healthier. I'm happy. I'm strong.
My symptoms, I know a lot of people were asking, they came on as a dry cough, which led then to a fever and this extreme fatigue. And my body just knew something was different. It felt very different than anything I'd ever felt before. And once I got the results, though, on Saturday, the doctor basically told me there's no way to treat it. They're treating the symptoms. So if you have, shortness of breath or anything like that, go to the hospital. But other than that, really just, nurse it at home with water and rest. The main thing I feel at the moment is a pretty bad headache and fatigue. And I'm hoping I turn the corner and that it gets better, and it keeps getting better. And so far, it sounds like it. So fingers crossed for that. And just remember, we got to just look out for each other.
Certainly some positive news to see people who have already turned the corner. And joining us now is ABC News correspondent Kaylee Hartung, who was covering the first outbreak of the coronavirus in Seattle and is now tested positive for the virus. Kaylee, first of all, how are you feeling?
Hey, Lindsay, I am feeling so much better. I think this was the sort of sickness that really took me out for a day, but otherwise, all of the symptoms I felt were things that I would push through. Any other time in my life, I would have said, I'm fine, I'm run down, I need to rest, but I can push through on the back end, and now I know that's not an option for me right now.
The people who we just heard from said they didn't know who they came in contact with or how they might have contracted the virus, and you're unfortunately in the same situation.
Yeah, that's right. I was in Seattle for a week reporting for ABC, and we were in close proximity to Life Care, that nursing home where we know so many people have died with the virus. But I don't know who I came in direct contact with who has since tested positive for the virus. We felt like we were careful, taking precautions, regularly washing our hands, staying at safe distances, but apparently it wasn't enough.
Let's talk about testing. It's been an issue for so many, and you've described a feeling of guilt for being able to get access to a test, even though doctors told you initially that you didn't need one at first.
Yeah, Lindsay, we all know at this point that there's a shortage of test kits, that all of the people who want to get tested can't get tested. People with symptoms like mine are being told, don't go to the emergency room, don't get tested, you won't get one. They need to be saved for people who are in much more severe circumstances. Well, in my case, I followed the protocol that we're all told to follow, which is when you start experiencing symptoms, to call your healthcare provider. And when I did that, they said it just as you said, that I couldn't get a test. My symptoms were too mild. But I had told them where I'd been. I told them that I'd been in Kirkland, Washington, really the epicenter of this outbreak in the U.S. And 10 minutes later, while I was feeling defeated and really confused at what to do next, my healthcare provider called back and said, actually, upon further review of your case, because of where you've been, we do want to test you. So I sort of feel like I'm one of the lucky, unlucky ones who actually was able to get a test to determine that what I'm feeling is in fact coronavirus. And that's why it's so important for me to share my story and to share what I've experienced, so that anyone who's feeling like me who can't get a test can have a bit of a reality check to say these mild symptoms, things that you would pass off any other time, like a runny nose and congestion, headache, body aches, these symptoms actually equal coronavirus. You don't have to have that dry cough or the shortness of breath. You don't have to be suffering from severe respiratory symptoms to have this virus.
And as you know, as of right now, there's no cure. What are doctors recommending beyond staying at home to get better?
Yeah, this right here, me in my house by myself. Hydration and rest. That's all they say to do. Just let time pass.
All right, Kaylee Hartung, thank you. Feel better, and we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.